Hey boys and girls, happy Wednesday. Welcome to ELA. Today we are going to continue to determine author's point of view in an expository text based on our key details that we find in a story. Now, last week we read an expository text of the importance of voting, and you guys were able to pull details from the text to determine that the author thinks it is very important to vote because it is our right to do so. Yesterday we read Kids to the Rescue, and you guys have read the story and you guys are pulling out details as to why is it important to save sea turtles, how we can save sea turtles, because this week's all about animal rescue. So today we're going to continue doing the same thing by pulling out text evidence details to help determine the author's point of view, but it's going to be a little bit more challenging today, because you have done so well yesterday on author's point of view and so well last week. You know, Mrs. Davis always likes to challenge you, so I have done a little bit more challenging today, and I'm going to show you how. But before, let's go ahead and quickly review all of our points of this week, because you'll be doing all of these today. So, again, remember, we are still in expository text. We are still using text evidence to determine the author's point of view. We still have our 8 vocabulary words of the week. And last week, we learned about prefixes. This week, we are going to add on to suffixes, which I introduced to you yesterday. Again, our vocabulary of the week, go ahead and repeat these words after me. Caretakers, population, recognized, relatives, resources, success, survive, threatened. Very good. Yesterday, you went on to your McGraw-Hill website and you were able to find the definition and sentences of those. Today, you're going to create your own sentences of the vocabulary in a discussion post. And just a reminder, we have known this. Our expository text gives us facts about a topic. It gives us true information. We see a lot of headings and there's little section breakdowns. You might see a picture with a caption, a graph, a chart, a map, which we have been identifying all the past 7 days. Author's point of view, we've talked about for 7 days as well. Remember, an author has an opinion, just like you, just like me. An author has an opinion about a topic. Now, it is our job to be a detective and really look through the text to pull out those important details that help us determine how the author is thinking. So remember, we want to ask, what does the author think about this topic? Does he seem to agree with what we're reading about, disagree? Remember, we're looking for strong, powerful text evidence. And then we, afterwards, will make our own opinion. Do we agree with the author about what he is telling us or what she is trying to prove to us? So today, we're going to be reading another expository text, identifying the author's point of view. Yesterday and last week, we began discussing prefixes. We will still have another activity this week on prefixes, those little words that are added to the beginning of the base word. And then yesterday we started to learn about the suffixes that are now to the end. And here were some of the examples that Mrs. Davis have given you yesterday, and we discussed those. As always, I have put this in every slide for the past 3 weeks. We must use text evidence as 3rd graders. We must read the text, we must think about what we're reading, and we must really be intentional with our reading. And I absolutely love when I get those, papers and those assignments and those discussion posts where we see according to the text or on page 45 the author told us. Keep up the good work with those. As for today, we're going to continue with our author's point of view by using our tree map. Yesterday, you chose details from each page, and then you chose one big important author's point of view about the whole story, Kids to the Rescue. Well, today, we actually are going to break it down page by page by page. So what I want you to do today, boys and girls, is don't think of the big picture right now. We're going to think of that tomorrow. But today, I want you to identify important details from each page and then identify the author's point of view from each page. So then tomorrow, we're going to take all the different point of views and come up with one big author's point of view. A little challenging, but I know you can do it. So you're going to watch Mrs. Davis go ahead and read a couple minutes of a story called The Whooping Cranes. And as you read along with me, we are going to think of, what does the author want us to know here? What does the author think about whooping cranes in danger? Because we know when we are identifying author's point of view, the title or the headings really help us identify the author's point of view. So go ahead, sit up in your chair nice and tall, and you are going to read along with Mrs. Davis. Whooping Cranes in Danger by Susan E. Goodman. There are many types of heroes. Superheroes in comics catch bad guys. Astronauts risk their lives to explore space. Doctors devote their careers to finding cures for dreadful diseases. Our story has heroes too. Scientists and their helpers are saving the whooping cranes. So right away, boys and girls, I know that we are discussing saving the whooping cranes. And I'm going to go ahead and read page 174, Whoopers Need Help. Long ago, whooping cranes lived all over North America. Then people started hunting them. Farmers and builders took over the marshes these birds called home. Whoopers were losing the resources they needed. By 1941, only 15 whooping cranes were left in the wild. It looked as if they could die out forever. Some people refused to let this happen. The government reserved land for these cranes to live on. Hunters could not enter this wildlife refuge. Scientists guarded this tiny flock in Texas. 70 years later, its population has grown to 200 birds. But one flock is not enough. A disease or storm could wipe it out completely. Scientists decided to create a new flock in Wisconsin. 2 groups of birds are safer than one. Okay, so right away, boys and girls, I am thinking of anything I read in this heading, in this section about whoopers needing help, or something happened to these whoopers and how we're going to help them. So I'm going to go back to my tree map. And one of the details that had to do with them needing help, as my head was, wherever they were hunted, the farmers tried to take over their homes. That's not a good thing, right? They lived somewhere, they were hunted, and the farmers tried to take over their homes. And we can't have that if we're trying to save our whoopers, or our whooping kings, I should say. So, whoops. So the whoopers were hunted, then farmers took over homes. And another way that they were in danger was there were so little. There were 15 of them to 200, but if a bad storm came or if a disease happened, that would completely take out this whole flock. Again, that's important details if we want to know how can we save this flock. So I'm going to go ahead and write a disease or storm could wipe out all the remaining birds. Now I have to, based on this page only, whooping cranes were hunted, then farmers took over homes, or a disease or storm could wipe out the remaining birds. So that lets us know the author came over and he wanted us to know, whoops, one flock is not enough. They need help. One flock is not enough for these birds to need help. So I'm going to go ahead and write that up here where author's point of view, one flock is not enough. That's point of view part 1 on this page. Now if I go to our second page, we want to go ahead and read a tough problem and a clever solution. As you are reading, boys and girls, you are going to identify maybe a problem, maybe a solution, and then take those 2 details and what was the author trying to get across to you? What was the author thinking of this problem? What was the author thinking of the solution? Make sure, boys and girls, you take a second and you look at the photographs because they can also help you, and read our captions. And when you are done with a tough problem and a clever solution, you are going to come right over here, add your details, And what do you think the author was trying to tell us, or what was his opinion about the problem and solution, or about saving these birds? You will go ahead and read the following pages. Now you can pause this video and read it on this video, or you can log on to McGraw-Hill. Mrs. Davis has assigned it to you. And you are going to go all through. Take your time. Remember, we're taking it page by page, break by break, to help identify key important details. Tomorrow, we are going to read this again because good readers reread text to really understand the text. So take your time, break it apart page by page, and again, identify those key important details to help you understand how the author is thinking. When you are finished, boys and girls, let's go right over here. You might have your tree map written out or on the computer like Mrs. Davis, or you can have your tree map written like that. But let's go ahead and take a look at our assignments for today. Step 1, after this video, you are going to complete your vocabulary sentences discussion post on Schoology. I did add a whooping crane video and learning more about whooping cranes. It's a little bit more information and some fun videos to watch, so you can just get background knowledge on the whooping cranes. Then you're going to go ahead and read Whooping Cranes in Danger on McGraw-Hill. As you are reading, you're going to stop at each page, fill out your tree map with important details using text evidence, and identify author's point of view. Once you are finished, take a picture and send it to Mrs. Davis. And then at the very end, you will complete the Whooping Crane's point of view. Boys and girls, this is going to be a little bit more challenging than what you did yesterday on author's point of view and what you did last week. I want you to take your time, stop at each page, identify at least 2 important details. Based on those 2 details, what is the author thinking? What does he think something good, bad? What is he trying to tell the reader? So just focus on page by page. Do not speed through this because it is a little challenging, but I'm excited to see your work. I look forward to it. And then tomorrow during our morning meeting, we're going to talk a little bit about it and what you guys came up with as author's point of view and what you think about the Whooping Cranes in Danger. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing all your assignments posted on Class Dojo and Schoology. Talk to you later. Bye.